and we do a lot of editorial services as well. So meaning we blog, we have guest blogging programs for our clients to basically foster conversation and get them to engage with their community and their customers. So.
Great. All right. Well, if you're ready, I'll go ahead and just dive straight into the questions. How's that?
Okay, sounds good. Yeah.
All right. How many people are currently using Conversation, and how is your learning curve for it?
We have, I want to say, it varies between 5 to 7 people using eCairn today.
Okay.
Depending on the functions. For people use it for research, people use it for, interaction, conversation, and things like this. But depending on their function, we'll have a different level of depth of use of the product, basically. So.
Oh, okay. So how was the learning curve for it? I mean, was it easy?
The learning curve. Well, we've been using it for I think 6 months now, and I think at the beginning it's really just trying to change something we were already doing before, but suddenly we could systematize the community management. And what I mean by that is more the blogosphere, influential blogosphere community management. And it took I don't know, I want to say a few weeks to really get used to the product.
Yeah.
But once we are set, there is very little. It's pretty workflow, pretty integrated with our workflow, regardless of if you are not technical or it's pretty easy to use. So it's been pretty good.
Great. Well, that's great to hear. What specific features do you like the most?
Personally, I really love the fact that you can, at least maybe 3 things. The first is you can go do in-depth research. If you use a Google Reader or you use any monitoring tool today, you don't have historical data. Well, here you can dive really into the historical data and just see what people have been saying, influential people saying in the past 6 months ago, a month ago. You can really dive into that. So that's pretty important. But for us, it's really trying to understand what influential communities. I think it's the second feature that I really like is what's called the expression cloud. So not so much a tag cloud, but what people are actually talking about currently in the last month, and to really understand the pulse of different vertical markets and what they're saying. As much as the connectivity, we can see basically the connectivity between influential people. I mean, as much as you can assume you can use a lot of tools out there, but here we have everything in one. So that's there's no need to spend a lot of time doing, I don't know, I guess useless monitoring and waste your
That's true.
So yeah.
Those
probably 3 things. So.
Great. Okay. So you mentioned you use some particular tools like the expression cloud and the connectivity maps. How do you, kind of tailor these services towards your customers? So, what do you tell them you can do for them, and how do you do it for them?
Well, it depends. We have clients in different verticals. We have clients in the food industry, in the education industry, software, and more IT clients. So it really depends what their specific goal is. Some people may just be interested for us to help them foster conversation and drive traffic back to their website. Or more and more, basically, we are developing more and more service around engaging with very specific people in the industry, in those vertical industry on behalf of our clients. And that's really where the power lies, is that there's so many bloggers, there's so many people out there, so really focus on the few that matters is, I think, really how we can help every client using eCairn and other tools to basically get them to be seen by those influencers, to be engaging with them, and just raise their visibility on a day-to-day basis, basically. So
great. Okay. Are there any specific industries or communities where conversation is the most useful in that regard?
I think there is conversational potential in every community. As long as there is passion, we are a social media agency and we believe in the social part of social media, and there is some industry where you may not expect people to be as chatty, but let's say the food industry or some specific niche industries are very, very chatty. People just love to engage, they have a lot of passion. So as long as you can find those nodes of passion, it's pretty easy to engage with those people and just get them to talk and bring them back on, from the blogs to the websites or to Facebook fan pages or to Twitter account. You can really manage the whole spectrum of things because you understand their home base, which is really their blogging or where they actually participate the most. So.
Yeah. Can you tell us about a specific project in which you've used conversation successfully, or any great examples?
Yeah. Just to start with our own practice, we blog, right? Mm-hmm. We do like everybody else. We tell stories and we analyze the market. We try to understand what's happening. But if I have a very specific things in mind to talk about, for example, I was at South by Southwest a few weeks ago, where I wanted to understand, what was being said by very influential people in that sphere. Well, in few minutes, I can just dive in and to really understand what is being said and what are the thought leaders talking about. So then when you start to aggregate or curate content, it's very powerful. Okay. Instead of talking about things that may not interest anybody, you can actually really understand the spectrum of conversation. And, so
I definitely agree. It's very powerful in order to be able to see what people are saying instantaneously.
Yeah. And not to be overwhelmed with information. If you use Google Alert, if you use a lot of tools, you can spend a ton of time.
Mm-hmm. So. And there's not much noise, right? It's conversation allows you to be pretty specific about what you're searching for.
I think so. As long as you have the right communities, when you have to build those communities, so you have to accumulate a lot of influential blogs and really understand the relationship between each of them. Once you have that, it's pretty powerful. And it's dynamic, right? We always add new blogs. We always find new people of interest for our clients, and we accumulate that. So it's really building a capital of investment to really what's happening in the blogosphere. So.
Yeah. So, last question: has conversation changed your company's reputation in the marketplace?
I think we've always been ahead of the curve. We've been doing social media for, I want to say, 3 or 4 years now. Mm-hmm. So it's not like, Twitter arrived on the block last year and everybody's like, social media. I think we've always had a pretty good reputation, but the thing is that everybody is doing social media and everybody thinks that just having a Facebook fan page and a Twitter account, this is it, right? And
it just makes you a master, right?
It makes you a master, and there's masters everywhere. So we're surrounded by masters, and but we believe in extreme quality, and quality is to be connected with the right people, because when we do content production or when we represent our clients, it's about quality relationships, and so it's been staying on top of that. It's like everything we do for every client is high touch, it's high quality, and time will tell. But I think we have a pretty good reputation. So.
Definitely. Well, great. That's great to hear.
Yeah. Thanks, Kim.
Yeah, no problem. Well, that concludes our interview. Thank you for being here today, and talk to you again soon, perhaps.
Sounds good. Thanks, Arthur.
Thank you.
Take care.
Bye.
Bye.